Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And video game journalists are turning on Microsoft. We're going to talk about this. Like, look, they've been somewhat critical of Microsoft in the past, but there was a lot of, I remember, defense being run for some of the decisions, especially when it comes to Halo. And there were was some defense being run for the sales numbers of the Xbox. Hey, Xbox isn't dead. It's just the alt-right trolls saying the Xbox is dead. But now they're saying, hey, the Xbox is dead. Halo sucks because it's using AI, not because it's gone woke. It's using AI.
So that's why they're mad, and that's now they've become an alt-right troll?
Yes. So now they're throwing Microsoft under the bus because we've got the CEO of Microsoft chumming up to Donald Trump. They're using AI. And it's all shit. So we're gonna talk about this. Very interesting though. It's you can see in real time how the media's opinions of a company are based on politics and not necessarily what they do or their business decisions. Their business decisions are good or bad based on, again, what their political allegiances are. And Microsoft, they've been virtue signaling for the last couple of years now. Especially with Halo, we've got, rainbow colored Spartan armor and all of that. And now all of a sudden they're the worst thing ever because, Trump and AI and yada, yada. They're just looking for reasons.
Yeah, it's like, we found a couple things we're mad about now. It's the worst thing, cancel it.
Yeah, and this, goes along with, I did a video the other day talking about the chromatic pocket handhelds, like a Game Boy handheld. And they loved it until they found out the politics of the guy who runs the company and his other businesses using AI and, weapons, making weapons. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, this is the worst thing ever. Yeah, they weren't judging the console on its own merits. It was, we hate you because of your politics. So
that's what are you surprised by? I mean,
I'm not surprised by it. I just think it's very funny because they were all, for the longest time, oh, look, the alt-right chuds are mad about Microsoft making gay Spartans or whatever, was going on.
So the ends and why with these people.
Right. So let's talk about this. It's amazing how things change. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So yeah, this is coming from PC Gamer. This is the same PC Gamer that wrote the hit piece on, I think it was Claire Obscure and some other publishers that were using generative AI. So obviously they're very, very much against it, which again, that's your prerogative, right? But I think what they're doing now is they're basically picking targets based on their political feelings, and then they're going after them. But now we're seeing all kinds of hit pieces on Microsoft and Xbox. And Xbox is doing terrible. I mean, it's doing very, very badly. But they're all in lockstep now. Xbox is bad. Microsoft is bad.
Well, that's what they do. They all coordinate. They always coordinate to try to take something down or to try to artificially inflate something. They do it all the time.
So PC Gamer has it. Microsoft's year of shame. Can't make a few $1 trillion without ditching game developers. Okay, because they fired a bunch of people. Going goo goo gaga for AI and supplying tech to the military, I suppose.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're mad about the AI stuff. Meanwhile, there's an article in Forbes about how there was a huge boost in billionaires, a bunch of 50 new billionaires just because of AI this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, again, I'm not asking anybody to love it, but I'm saying
I don't love it. I'm just saying.
There's more to it than that. It's not just about AI. It's not just about them, giving technology to the military, working with the military, because that's been going on forever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's money in it. Of course they're going to give technology to work with the military.
They're mad because Microsoft is not virtue signaling like they were when it was fashionable to do so. And the CEO has been chumming up to Trump because it benefits him financially to do so.
Yeah, I mean, basically, or, there might be another reason, but that's probably what it is. You want to stay in business, you got to play the game, right?
You got to play the game. That's what these gaming journos used to do. They used to play the game.
They were fine with it when they were chumming up to Biden.
Yes, they were. They were. So this is PC Gamer. They said, you don't need the impassioned argument about how Microsoft is the shameful poster child for just how contemptible an American megacorp can be in the year 2025. You don't need me to muster every bit of evidence I can, because even if you don't remember each step in the bleak parade, you can recall the shape of the march. What is this, like My Chemical Romance.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
That was just like, what? Look what a wordsmith I am.
Oh God. Or maybe it's just the end of year fugue trying to convince me it's already past time. I surrender to the sugar coma and don't have to do any more work. Who can say either way? When you chalk up this many L's in a single year, I don't think the passing shame of a single week's news cycle can do the whole picture justice.
Oh God, but you're going to, aren't you? Oh, yay.
Yeah. For as much criticism as Microsoft has gotten this year for closing game studios like Arcane, for pivoting Windows away from the kind of software that has been a fun hot dog stand color scheme to a bloated whale carcass that even non-tech, I do agree, Windows 11's trash.
Oh, I hate Windows 11 too.
Even non-techies are considering ditching in favor of Linux. It deserves more. Microsoft's leadership will no doubt point to the stock price as proof 2025 was a great year for the company. And this is what's going to happen with Google too, I'm telling you. The stock price is great. Everybody hates this, but the stock price is great. So it said, call me crazy, but I feel like profiting while laying off talent, making your products worse, and firing your own employees for protesting your morally bankrupt deals with a bloodthirsty military is a bad look, actually.
Oh, God.
But get that bag. So they're talking about how they closed a bunch of studios, which is true. The reason they closed the studios is the studios weren't making enough money to justify their existence. And that's the truth. And Microsoft bought a bunch of companies, game developers, and they want like a 30% margin on video games, which is unreasonable. Mm-hmm. I think, but they also bought a bunch of stuff that's not making money current year. So they laid a bunch of people off, and the Xbox is dying. Like it was dead last in console sales.
I don't think, like you said, everybody else is pointing this out already. This is like a nothing new, kind of story. The issue here is the fact that they were all like, even when this was all going on, even when this was all being pointed out, even when everybody's like, no, it's failing miserably. Yes. They were like, you chuds. Oh, they're not doing what I want. That's right. You need to feel harder, and it's the chud's fault.
Yeah,
and it's like, what the fuck?
They were okay. So Xbox, if you remember all the drama around Starfield, because that was an Xbox exclusive, you were not allowed to criticize that game at all. You were not allowed to criticize that game. You're not allowed to criticize the official Halo and Microsoft accounts posting all kinds of rainbow stuff, rainbow Spartan armor or whatever. You weren't allowed to criticize that. You weren't allowed to criticize the Halo TV show. You weren't allowed to. The media would jump you and be like, it's just the alt-right chuds. Even the price hikes. I mean, some people were critical, but some of them were like, well, it's just because, chips are going up. Microsoft is the only video game manufacturer I can think of that 5 or 6 years into the life cycle of a console jacked the prices up like 20, 30%. Mm-hmm. And it was already like dead last. They got beat by the Next Playground, which is basically a Kinect. It's like a little box that your kids can jump around and play games in the living room. And that's something that Xbox used to do. And they got their asses handed to them this year by this little gadget. And it wasn't great. I mean, they're in dead last. They're dead last at this point. But that's okay. But now, AI. Windows 10 support, that was a huge sticking point for me. You should switch to Linux if you can do it. Okay, here we go. Fucking jamming, fucking AI and everything fuck. Okay, hold on. This is an actual subheading on
in this article.
Yeah, in this article, fucking jamming, fucking AI and everything fuck.
This ranks up there with I got a PS5 to review, but everything sucks in this world, and Trump sucks. And that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. Now, do I agree with them on this level? Yeah. I think your operating system, unless you want it, should not have AI built into it.
No, I know. I'm not saying they're wrong. I just think that the way they're having a meltdown is just kind of laughable.
Yeah.
Given how they behaved up to this point. And just that's a general day.
So yeah, it's just they're having a full-on meltdown. I mean, I don't even want to go into how fucking bleak it is that the CEO of one of the most lucrative companies on earth would rather talk to his phone about the transcript of a podcast than listen to the human beings who made the thing speak. I don't want to get into the way Microsoft, NVIDIA, and OpenAI are basically hitching the whole economy to AI, such that a flop either means recession or a too big to fail government bailout. I think there's more going on. We've talked about this. I think there's more going on with that. I think it's about getting rid of certain people. and then hiring other people back. It's just the maddening insult, the gaslighting of people with tremendous amounts of control over how we interface with technology, holding up something that totally sucks and going, look how awesome this is. In other words, Microsoft's head of AI doesn't understand why people don't like AI, and I don't understand why he doesn't understand, because it's pretty obvious. Diversity, okay, they're mad about DEI. Diversity priorities.
There's got to be, here it is.
Yep. Okay, so look, you got to read between the lines. There are some valid criticisms here. I think Microsoft's business practices are predatory.
A little late. I mean, these are criticisms that other people made for years that you all called them names for.
When Microsoft doubled down on DEI, when they tasted the rainbow every month, you guys were cool with whatever they did. And if anybody had any complaints about pronouns or whatever in games, you guys were all there to stand for, Microsoft. But now that they're not doing what you want, now they're the worst thing ever, and we're going to find every possible reason. You know what I'm saying? That's how this works.
That's how it's coming across.
Yeah, so they got rid of the DI initiatives. This I agree with. The Xbox Series X can no longer even feign being competitive. Yeah. They said tariffs. No, it's not. I don't think it's tariffs. Tariffs drive the Xbox Series X price up to $650, $100 more than the PS5. That's already outsold by more than 3-1. No, Microsoft's own internal benchmarks that they want a 30% margin on everything drove the price up. And they're like, well, we're just going to get more blood out of the stone, I guess.
Because you don't have as many people wanting it. You have to, it's a Disney move. You just charge more to the people that do.
Game Pass, that was bad. This is an Xbox ad campaign's attempted rebrand, just highlights the brand's relevance. Yeah, they're basically like, Xbox is everywhere, so what's the point of buying a console? And I think a lot of people got the message because they're like, if I could play all the Xbox games on my PC, why would I buy an Xbox? Windows gaming handhelds perform worse than Linux ones. That is actually true. 2 years into Microsoft's ownership of Activision Blizzard, Call of Duty sells so badly they can't even come up with any positive metrics for it. Here we go, guys. Supplying tech to the Israeli military throughout its commitment of atrocity after atrocity in Palestine.
I think that, there's a lot of blame to go around over there because things keep going. But I also somebody started it, just saying,
Yeah. Okay, so that's what this is really about. And this is right up there.
It's about DEI and Israel.
It's about DEI and Israel. They said despite this change, Microsoft remains a target of the boycott, divest, sanction movement, and no games for genocide groups working to end the material and commercial ties between the games industry and enabling genocide, war crimes, and the military industrial complex. Could you imagine if we had this discussion about Atari or something?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, obviously this is where this article was going when you listen to the beginning and they're pompous, I'm so smart bullshit starting out. I knew this was going to head this way because it always starts out like, I'm smarter than you. And then it devolves into, by the end, I'm just mad because it's something like DEI.
This is how, Okay, so this is how it ends. So this is what the punchline was. And usually these articles, you have to scroll to the bottom of the article to get the punchline. And I think this guy is sneaking an article in between Christmas and New Year's because, traffic's down websites, right? You can get away with a lot more. My expectations for Microsoft in 2026 are low. I expect it to lay off more game developers and cancel more games as it tries to pump AI bubble profits out of entertainment. I expect Windows to continue down the path of AI, even as the experience proves poor for the humans on the other side of the screen. I expect it to keep making its icons worse for some damn reason. Okay, very last paragraph. But if it does fully cut ties with the Israeli military, that will at least represent a small step toward reckoning with how much worse you can make the world for the sake of 3.5 trillion.
So wait. I'm mad because of all these things that people have been saying that were legitimate reasons to be mad, and then you get to the end. But if they would do one thing I wanted, then they'd be fine. It's like, what the hell?
So then now we have they're going all in on AI and they hate that too. It's like, look, do they know they're done? Does this publication know it's done?
They know they're dumb. Okay.
No, do they know they're done? Because I noticed the PC Gamer especially has just been going really hard in the paint, trying to sound like Kotaku from 2016. Do they know internally that the metrics aren't good and they might not be around in a year? So fuck it, we're just going to say whatever we want.
It could be, or it could be they just hired all the people that were, got laid off from the other outlets and they were bringing them over there.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. So Microsoft, they're the baddies now. I mean, look, we've been saying it. I just think it's so funny. We're like, hey, Disney, they're not really a good company. You lie. They're wonderful. Mickey loves me. Oh my God, they're not really a good company. Hey, Microsoft.
They didn't do what I wanted. So now
they didn't do what I wanted. Yeah, Microsoft. Yeah, they're kind of sleazy. I mean, get as big as Microsoft without, being kind of sleazy. Not to lie. They're all about DI and equality in the workplace, and they love everybody. Oh my God, we hate them because Israel and AI.
And DEI.
And DI. It's like, God. Just, I miss... And I talked about this in another video. I miss the era when we talked about the games. We talked about the games themselves. We never talked about the politics of the people making the games. It never came up. It didn't matter.
That's all they talk about now.
You pick up an issue of EGM from 1991, 92. They're not talking about George Bush, right? They don't give a shit. Is the game good? Yes or no? And that's everything now. What they do is they look at the politics of the person making the thing, and then they make a call on whether or not this thing is good based on the politics of the person making the thing.
Pretty much.
And that's how it works. That's how. So
that's not even valid.
Nope. So anyway, that's called bias. That's called bias media.
Yeah.
Are we gonna wrap this up?
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.